Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode from Of Course
China.
My name is Fernando, and
I'm Ziv.
today we are with Jerome Bryant. So, Ziv, tell us a little bit about him.
Jerome Bryant is from the USA. He came to China as an English teacher, worked his way up to be the head of English program in the Dongguan Foreign Language School. He dedicates most of his time away from school being an up-and-coming comedian. He made people laugh in China, Malaysia, and the USA. And just a few months ago, he opened for the very funny Joe Wong. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, guys, for sure.
So, transitioning to becoming a comedian, how did that happen? I mean, was it something that you wanted to do always, or what inspired you to do that? Where did that come up?
You know, me growing up, I was an only child. Well, I was an only child of many children that my dad had. So
Okay.
I was the only child with my mom.
You're one of
But
those
my
good
dad-
fathers,
Yeah,
right?
you
one of
were-
those great fathers.
Your only
that stood around
child,
and-
your
One
only
mother
child
per
on,
kid.
on your white side, you're an only child.
Yeah, on my white side,
okay.
but then on my black side,
Kind of makes sense.
yeah, there's a lot of kids. He was that guy.
Yeah, no, get demonetized.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But anyways, I was in that family, and I was always, the biggest thing is when I was a young kid, I would always stay up and watch this show called Def Comedy Jam.
Uh-huh.
When I was watching Def Comedy Jam, I used to watch Martin Lawrence, right? And I used to think to myself, oh man, I want to be just like that guy. Like Martin Lawrence is so hilarious. And so of course stand-up comedy was always something I loved anyways, because I was also a class clown.
Uh-huh.
I was always in class, always making jokes, always that kid.
Getting in
I
trouble.
actually was the kid that I hate.
Okay,
I'm the
right.
kid that I hate right now. Like the kid that talks too much. You tell him to shut up, and he's like, okay. And then you move him, and he starts talking to the new people. You know, this is what always
Then
happens.
you understand now that was bad.
That's
Okay.
very bad.
All right.
It's one of the reasons why I don't have children.
But maybe that kid that you talked about will become a comedian.
Yeah, exactly. It might. And so that's what I initially started. And then, of course, just telling stories when I got older and just kind of thought to myself, this is something I could do. And then one day, just taking that leap and going to an open mic. That was the biggest thing.
Was that in U.S. or in China? In the
U.S.
U.S.
Yeah, in the U.S.
All right. So
Yeah.
when was that?
It would have been like, my first one would have been 6 years ago. Like, it would have been 6 years ago that I
Right.
went. And then, of course, because there was a gap in that I didn't even do anything. I was like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then moved to China. And I was like, I'm not going to do this.
What
That's
was
weird.
it? Was it
Was it a
difficult?
comedy club or?
Yeah, a comedy club. No. It was a
Whereabouts?
restaurant. It was a restaurant in Arizona.
Okay.
I came here from Phoenix, Arizona, and it was a restaurant that they do like
Open mic.
open mics at night. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I did it one time, and I actually did twice. I did twice, and both times I was just like so nervous on the stage. I don't know what I'm doing. This is weird. I think they're funny jokes, and all I did was I talked about like me going to China, because this is when I had signed the contract and I was ready to go.
Before coming.
Before coming,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And no,
Okay.
I take it back. I actually did one time when I came back for that little
Okay.
period of fixing my visa.
Uh-huh.
I did do one time talking about everything in
happened.
China, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But people, that's when I found out, like, people they weren't like responsive to it. They were like, cool.
They didn't get it.
Yeah, they were like, okay, whatever. You live in China.
Yeah, they
so,
don't really
yeah.
relate to China that
Yeah,
much.
they don't.
Also, it was your first times, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do it now, if I go back now, I can make it to where people can understand, like, from my point of view. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit easier now.
Sure, but the comedy scene in America is huge. It's big. It's
gigantic.
large. Comedy scene in China. Well, I understand comedians who speak Chinese
Mhm.
or Chinese comedians, but for somebody who's doing comedy in English, what are the limit? I mean,
Yeah.
what? I mean,
That's
why
the
go
biggest
that way?
limitation, is the fact that, and I never even thought about it like until I started doing it. But I was just like, it is the hardest part, of course, is the people don't understand you. And that's where you got to kind of throw in some stuff that's Chinese, so that you can relate to some of the Chinese audience. But I don't even know. Like, honestly, I didn't even. The only time I actually thought I could do it here is when I saw another group of people that are in another city come here and do it, and I was like,
It's, Shanghai or yeah.
no, the Shenzhen guys.
Shenzhen, right?
And then that's
okay.
when I was thinking to myself, I was like, I can do
Is
this.
that like a
Right.
club or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
I think we can call them. What is it?
Takeout.
Takeout.
Yeah.
Takeout comedy
Takeout
club.
comedy,
right.
yeah.
Right.
and
yeah.
so like Takeout came and they did a few shows, and I was thinking to myself like,
you can do it. All right. If you're watching, yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying all of you, it's most of you.